What piece of the Socratic Method do all great supervillains engage in? And how did the marketing supervillains at Planet Fitness take it and utilize it for themselves? Welcome to the Science of Supervillainy. Class is in session. You and I, we're not so different. It's a trope you've probably heard a million times, coming from the mouths of supervillains when they have their prey right where they want them. Whether it's in movies, TV, or in comic books, it's always the same.
If you would just take a step back from all of this, you'd see that you and I, we're really not so very different.
So we're not so different after all.
You and I are not so different.
Remember when I told you we're not so different, you and I?
All great supervillains know themselves. Even more so, they know the world that they are trying to conquer. A piece of the Socratic Method called Aporia is one of the most powerful tools in a supervillain's arsenal. Often utilized in debates, Aporia is a method where the speaker creates perplexity in someone whose mind appears to be made up on an issue. This creates an opening through alignment and doubt. You and I, we're not so different. It's a great example of a villain creating Aporia. On the surface, the person on the opposite end of the conversation would typically outright reject this allegation. My point of view has nothing to do with yours. We are diametrically opposed on this issue. In most cases, the differences would be so vast that any attempt to draw similarities would seem laughable, such as a criminal telling a bastion of justice that they are indeed not so different. The Joker and Batman are a prime example. The Joker isn't driven by the same things the average villain is: money, power, fame. To quote him exactly,
"This town deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm gonna give it to him."
The Joker's sole goal, his crowning achievement, would be to prove to the world that the incorruptible, aka Batman, is indeed able to be corrupted. The Joker is even willing to let Batman kill him, pitting him against his prime directive, "I will not kill." If the morally incorruptible Batman is able to be turned, then any one of us are also prey. The Joker begins his master plan by creating Aporia with Batman, by pointing out that the police, whom Bats has an uneasy alliance with, would simply toss him aside the second anything went astray. As much as Batman wants to be known as a symbol of justice, deep down, he knows this statement from the Joker is true. To them, the Joker exclaims,
"You're just a freak, like me."
You and I were not so different. And so the eternal game of cat and mouse between the Batman and the Joker is propelled forward. Batman standing his moral high ground, refusing to kill the Joker, and the Joker causing chaos, hoping to ultimately push Batman over the edge. But how does this all pertain to marketing? Well, let's use Planet Fitness as an example. Planet Fitness has over 2,500 locations, making it one of the largest gym franchises in the world. Let's make Planet Fitness the Joker. In this case, anyone who is adverse to gym culture is the Batman, its antithesis. Planet Fitness, playing the Joker in this example, has messaging that deliberately creates uncertainty within those who are gym culture adverse, aka Batman. You and I, we're not so different. We exist because you exist. We get you. Much like a defiant Batman who rejects everything the Joker stands for, the gym hater scoffs at such a ridiculous statement. And therein lies the opportunity to create Aporia. We too hate the stereotypical gym culture. Just like you, we too hate when people drop ridiculously heavy plates on the ground. We too hate the feeling of judgmental eyes upon us as we strive for self-improvement. You, the gym culture hater, and us, Planet Fitness, we're not so different after all. And the window of doubt in the viewer's mind opens, and open windows are opportunities for sales. Madness doesn't just exist in the fitness industry, it's everywhere. Customers who have experienced the absolute worst your industry has to offer: broken promises, services provided by the lowest common denominator in your field, being ghosted by professionals who you're trying to give your hard-earned money to. Customers have battle scars, and they're visible on their business, their bank account, and their spirit.
I don't know how I got these scars.
The gravity of the situation is that in most cases, the madness is actually created by other marketers, average marketers. But you're not an average marketer, you're a marketing supervillain. And as a great villain once declared, madness is just like gravity. All it needs is a little push. And that push for you, my loyal viewer, is not about falling into the fray with the other chaotic messaging of the industry. It's a recipe in frustration and futility trying to fight the maddening tides created by other marketers. If you fight them, you're just bringing more attention to them. Instead, take the madness and reshape it to suit your needs. Lean into it, feed it, give it a little push. This town deserves a better class of marketer. Are you going to give it to them? The opportunities to create Aporia are everywhere. And once you learn how to identify it, you, my fellow marketing supervillain, will have an all-new powerful weapon in your arsenal to help you propel your brand into the stratosphere. Class dismissed.